What you're looking at here is the sled that I made for slicing wood into consistent thicknesses, and then I use them to make dizzy bowls. It slides this way, it adjusts in and out this way, and I can set a stop where I want it and then repeat the cut. And I will show you that a little bit later. But what I do is I make this like this, much thicker piece. I reslice them, and with these I twist them and make a dizzy bowl out of them. So that's what the reason is that I built this. You can purchase them, but if I can make something, I'd rather do it, especially the cost of one of these pre-made sleds. So obviously this is built, but the request was that I showed how it was put together. So I'm going to take it apart. So the very first thing that you need to do is make a piece that fits in here. And it wants to be, this one's just a scrap, it doesn't fit when close. So you want to make it so that you can slide it. And if you're making it out of hardwood, you're going to have a little resistance at the beginning, but don't try to make it loose it right off the bat. So then after that's made, what I did was I took a piece of 3/4 plywood, Baltic birch. You can use anything you want. Then I sat that over the top of it when the slot was in here, and I would locate this and I would put a drop of glue on it, shim it up underneath, get the glue on it, let that sit, take it out, and I put screws in it. So that's screwed on. I have a hole in here with a nut which will be used to attach the other part of this and hold it in place. You'll need to cut 2 slots. They need to be at a right angle from this face. And when you do position that, you want this to be totally equal distance from this edge, because this is the edge you're going to work from. Then you're going to cut these slots. You could use a router, you could use your table saw. I have a milling machine, so that's what I used. I also, this is machined on my bandsaw, and it's parallel with the slot. So I went ahead and cut this to just about exact on that length, and I screwed this onto here. This pretty much takes any slop out of it. So we have that done. And we need 2 more runners that go in here. So I have those made. They're separate pieces that I glued onto that piece there. We'll get those on. You'll have this bolt here. You're going to cut a slot. So there. Then once that's on there, you can glue this to here this is going to be a little shallow in the slot. So then you shim it up with paper, get glue on it, let it set, and then get some screws in it. This is just nothing more than a brace. I put that brace on there, and this is pretty important that this piece is a good right angle to this bottom. So you're going to have this on here. You're going to put these pieces on to keep it square. Serves another purpose. This is a nice handle to run this back and forth. I don't want to be hanging on to this. I hang on to here when I do it. Like that. I put a couple washers on there, a big flat one and a lock washer. And that is a little bit long, I just never cut it off. It doesn't matter because I don't take this off. Now you can position this where you want it and tighten it down. So now we have this set up, and we can run this across. Here's a disc that has not been cut. So this is the board that I use to hold my material. That's a piece of double sticky tape. This sits right on the table of the bandsaw. So let me see if I can get this paper off of this. So that's off. I'm treating this like it's the bandsaw table to index this disc on here. And I'll take that and push it against that tape and just hold it for a second. I don't have a wood clamp handy, but I do have this. When you use that tape, and this isn't something that has to be on there and left for a while, it just needs to press it really tight, like that, against that double sticky tape. Now that thing will stay on while I cut all those pieces. So now this piece goes on this side, and I've put a mark here so I know where the holes line up. I have wood screws here, I'll put in them holes. So I have this set up for cutting now. And if you don't want to use this end for one reason or another, or you don't think it's square, this is how this makes everything absolutely perfect. Because if I cut this away, every cut after that will be parallel to that face. I'm just going to skim the top of this off. Okay, I changed the stop on here. The other one was a little bit too long on the skinny part, so we'll go ahead and cut these, and I'll probably use this for a project I have in mind. Okay, get the bandsaw back on. So here's the disc to cut off that blank. I'll set those aside, and at a later date I'll make something out of this. I have a little idea going on in my head, so I don't want to do that right now, but I just wanted to show you how the sled worked.